Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Takeaway. We are currently in our wisdom series, Living Wisely, and this is part 5. So we've had 5 preachers around the book of Proverbs, and it's been incredible. But today we're going to be specifically speaking on friendship. So Paul, you got to preach on friendship. And would you just give us a quick brief rundown of your preach, and then we'll jump into a conversation, maybe answer some questions that people might have around friendships.
Yeah, friendship is a fun topic to talk on, but it can also be a difficult topic. So you may be listening to this yearning for close friendship, maybe dealing with a wound from a friend. Maybe you've got great friendship, and you're longing for depth, and you're longing to be known and know someone else. I started off with an email I got the other day that spoke about a friendship recession that we're in. Now, I know economically when we talk about a financial recession, you're talking about there's less investment, less growth. And if we see what's going on in the world with the war and things like that, I think we have a concern about our economic recession. But do we have a concern about a friendship recession that they say is happening? I think today we are seeing the likes of AI becoming companions for many people. So this is a topic for another day. But we're going to focus primarily on the current friends we have. And when I talk about a friendship recession, I'm not saying you're short of people to call friends. I'm saying the quality of your friendship has become thinner. So pre-podcast, I was asking Phil, tell me who your closest friend is. And it turns out that he doesn't quite see this close friend that often. So what happens is, when you do get to see him, it's more of a catch-up.
Yeah.
How's your wife? How are your kids? How's work?
Yeah.
And then you leave having caught up on someone's calendar, but you haven't been able to go, how's your heart?
Yeah.
Because to get to the depth of how you're really doing, what's happening in your heart, takes time. You got to kind of wade through the catch up, what's happening within you. So I wanted to ask just a question for you to think about. If you think of your close friendships and you look at like a curve, have your friendships kind of stagnated? Are you seeing the recession that actually the depth and quality of your friendships actually is on a decline? Or are you someone going, my depth of friendship with those closest to me is actually getting better? And I think more and more people are saying the depth of friendship is plateauing and on a decline. And all the research kind of talks to your happiness in your later years is determined by the quality of your close relationships. Now, close relationships will talk about your spouse and your immediate family, but friendships are included there. So this research specifically says by the age of 50, the quality of your close relationships at the age of 50 will determine your happiness at the age of 80. Now, for some people, if you're young, you're like, I've got many years. Like, I was chatting today to a friend who, in a couple of years' time, we would have been friends for 30 years. And we have journeyed together for 30 years. It started soon out of high school. And we still on a journey together. But if you're new to the city or new to the church and you don't have friends, the stats are you need like 200 hours to build a close friendship. And not every hour has equal value. So you're talking like hours of life experience, doing the ordinary mundane things, going through the ups and downs, having meals together, cooking, washing dishes together, to kind of get to that like 2-hour mark to call someone a close friend. So this is a fun topic. It may not be easy for you to talk about this topic, but Proverbs is full of wisdom on how to have good, healthy, godly friendships.
So how can someone who is maybe surrounded by people still feel lonely? Like, I think it's a question that I think a lot of people who they find themselves in community, surrounded by people, yet they feel lonely.
Yeah.
How do we
I was just thinking about Jesus. He had his 12, but he also had 3.
Yeah.
He had this like inner circle. And I'm not expecting you to share your pearls to everyone.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, there is only a handful of people that I will honestly talk about the state of my heart. I'm not going to do that with acquaintances, casual friends. And I'm privileged to be able to say I have close friendships. Not everyone can say that.
Yeah.
So, it's the depth. It's do you have the history with someone so that you can actually be intimate with? And when I say intimate, I'm not talking about sexual intimacy. I'm saying intimacy. Have a look at what I'm going through, my fears, my challenges, the state of my heart. So it's finding people like that. We have lots of acquaintances. We've got lots of Facebook friends. Those aren't friends. We're talking about real life people that you have done life with, that know you, and you allow them into.
Yeah, that's true. So what do you mean by when you say we're experiencing a friendship recession?
As I kind of mentioned, it's I've got friends, but I am not. It's just become headlines. I'm not open. I haven't allowed you to know the state of my heart, and I don't know the state of your heart. So whenever we talk about friendships, it's very easy to point the finger saying, I don't have friends like that. But actually to go, am I that friend to someone else? So am I regularly pursuing and checking in with my friends? Am I reaching out to them? Not just celebrating, not just helping them through their struggles, but celebrating their wins. And we're busy. So when we deal with the busyness of life, often our friendships are the things that we put on the back seat, because I still need to stay married, still need to be a good dad, and I still need to do my job. So friendships are those things we go, I don't have time. If I'm cutting anything out, it's my friendships, and they go on the back seat. And when you put that on the back seat long enough, you start seeing a friendship recession.
So Proverbs says, walk with the wise and become wise. How do our friends shape the people we become?
I said, show me your friends and I'll show you your future, because the friends you choose help you walk a direction that you hopefully want to go. I said, if you have a friend who is racist or angry or always cynical, that has an influence on you. Your friends shape the direction that you are on. So this proverb says, walk with the wise and become wise. Walk with the fools and it will have a toll on you. The other proverb in the section was Proverbs 22 verse 24. Don't befriend angry people or associate with hot-tempered people, or you will learn to be like them and endanger your own soul. The people you spend time with will influence you. So I specifically want to challenge young people. Show me your friends and I will be able to predict the sort of person you will become, or the journey, the path that you will take, and the possible hard knocks you'll take based on those that you allow closest to you.
So does that mean that choosing wise friends as Christians, that we should only choose or build friendships that are with Christians, or can we have non-Christians as our friends?
So Jesus was a friend of sinners, but those people that he hung out with, whether it was the prostitutes or the Pharisees or people who were in the category of sinners, weren't the ones that were influencing him. He still had the influence over them. So I like to differentiate between people that I allow to speak into my life and shape me, and the people that I'm journeying with, so that I can shape and impact their lives. So, we need to have unsafe friends, or else we're not going to be able to fulfill the mandate of reaching the lost and making disciples, the Great Commission. But be wise in who you allow to be the ones that ultimately speak into your life, influence you, and have a say into the person you're becoming.
So speaking on people having influence on you and you having influence on them, you used an analogy around your CrossFit training. Would you unpack that for us in terms of how this affects our friendship?
Yeah, just practically, I do CrossFit and I want to be a better CrossFitter. So if I only train with people who are moaning and complaining and whinging and don't want to be there and are weak, it's not going to help me improve. And there are times when our coaches come and train with us, and stick with those that are faster, stronger, passionate. It has an impact on you. And I'm trying to go, if you have a desire to become more like Jesus, you've got to surround yourself with people where their faith is going to rub off on you. Their passion for Jesus, their love for Jesus will challenge you to be a certain person.
Yeah.
But if you're going through a tough time in your marriage and you only have people that have a low view of marriage, the advice they're going to give you is drop that lady. There's many other ladies there. Just get a divorce. Surround yourself with people that have a high view of marriage.
Yeah.
When I go through a tough time, they're going to say to me, you stick it out and you choose to love her and you serve her.
Yeah.
So very different kind of influences that I will get based on the people that I allow to speak into my life.
Yeah. And it kind of speaks about kind of what you invest into those relationships. And so you kind of also spoke around, your friendships, you kind of see them when kind of things go wrong. So you had an emergency operation last year. What did that teach you about your friendships in terms of what you had already invested in your friendships during that season?
Yeah, so the proverb is there are friends who destroy each other, but a real friend sticks closer than a brother. Now, let me give you some context. In a family-focused context where family was everything, blood family was everything, he's saying there are people that can actually be closer than a blood brother or a blood sister. And when you talk about this word sticks, it carries the idea of cleaving, a deliberate commitment flowing from deep affection. It's when people say, I choose you, not I'm obligated to be there for you because you're my blood.
Yeah.
So because you're my brother, I guess I better go to the hospital, or I better give you a meal.
Yeah.
But there are people who stick closer. Now, to find friends that are loyal, that will stick with you in the tough times, it comes from building outside of the crisis. So I ended up in hospital. Now's not the time to be like, hey, how are you doing? Like, what's happening in your life? By the way, I'm in hospital. No, my friendships were forged outside of that crisis. And in the crisis, I could then rely on the friends to be there for me. It is choosing to build in the ordinary mundane. When you go through a crisis, it will show you the depth of friendships you actually have, because they will either be there or they won't be there. I sometimes joke about, if you want to know who your friends are, move house. Your friends are going to be there and they're going to give up their Saturday to help you move all your stuff. But if you're not really a friend, they are not going to sacrifice and give costly things to you. So friendship is tested in crisis, but it's built in ordinary life.
That's so true. And then in Proverbs it says wounds from a friend can be trusted. What does this mean?
So if you have depth of friendship, we should have people that can speak honest things to us that could hurt us when they tell us these difficult things we want to hear. So what he's saying is, better are the faithful wounds of a friend than the kisses of an enemy, or it's where you like, I don't want to mess the friendship up, so I'm not going to say the hard thing. I don't want things to be awkward, or I don't want to lose this friendship by actually saying what I need to say. No, actually, when someone says something truthful and honest to me, it can wound me, it can hurt me, but it's because they love me, they're saying it. So do you have people, Phil, in your life that can call you out on something that can come across like, man, you cut me deep, but they're doing it to bring healing or challenge you to become more like Jesus, not just being critical or harsh. And I think we're scared to speak truth.
But I think it also comes down to like understanding that investment in relationships, because I think often the excuse used is often like, I don't have enough relational equity. And so guys aren't really investing in the relation, in friendships, to the extent where you have people speaking into your life, or often it is when people do say something, you're so hurt that you actually walk away from the friendship. And again, there is maybe some level of discernment as a person on like who your friends are,
yes,
to see how they actually respond. So like, if there's somebody in that friendship group that there's always these little jabs, and and even though sometimes they can be truthful, sometimes it says more about their heart and what's going on the inside of them. You probably don't want that person when you're going through something to be because even though, yes, it could be truthful, their intention is not for healing. It's actually just to take a snide at you kind of thing. And so it's like, it's actually paying attention to what are people like in general, and having those kinds of like relationships where you actually get to see how people react in different situations and how they respond to certain things before you actually allow them to be those people who speak into your life. And so I think it's so important that that you do that, because I think you don't want to make deep friendships with people who their intention is really actually to hurt you rather than to do it, and like their heart is actually healing versus hurt.
So if it is a godly relationship, the verse you should know, as iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. This friction of metal on metal is there to sharpen us.
Yeah.
Now, if you only have a friendship where there is no friction, where they're not pushing you, challenging you, calling things out in you, making you aware of your blind spots, we're not going to grow. So do you have people like that? Am I brave enough to have that coffee with my friend and say, I need to just speak honestly, or I know this is going to hurt you, but it's coming from a good place. My motive is love. I'm not here just to wound you. It's because I love you. I can say this thing to you. My friend, if I've got a piece of spinach in my teeth, I know who my friends are because they're going to say you've got something in your teeth.
Yeah.
Others just ignore it and don't want to say anything. It's that principle. You have people that can say the hard things.
Yeah. And so, you kind of mentioned like, your happiness later in your life is determined by the friends that you have when you're 50. So how would someone who currently doesn't have these close friends, how would they go about trying to establish deeper relationships if they don't have them?
So this is where we talk about the third space. The first place would be your home. The second place would be your work. The third place, known as the third space, is where we look for community and friendship. And the third space could be a CrossFit gym, a running club, work colleagues that you see socially, and it could be a church. It's in the third space that we want to now find. You got to be with people to start building relationship, right? So you got to move away from just online stuff to real life running groups that go and meet for coffee afterwards. And church is an opportunity to be your third space where you find real friendship. I can't guarantee you that you will find real friendships. It takes an organic process of I pursue you, I hope you pursue me, and we do this journey together. But if you're someone that moves from church to church to church, I guarantee you won't find friendship. If you stick around long enough in a place, it's likely that you will find. But my heart is that church should be a place where there is friendships, community, relationship, and there are opportunities for you to meet people. But it's not done around stages, it's done around tables. So you've got to open people, allow people to come into your homes, have meals, go out.
We often hear this saying, specifically with married couples, I got to marry my best friend. But what you're talking about specifically here, because again, your spouse can't meet every single one of your relational needs. So how can married people invest in friendships without neglecting their marriage?
So for me, the best scenario is if both of you find a couple that you both enjoy and get on with.
Yeah.
Then it's easy. It's hard when I like the guy and my wife doesn't like the girl, and then we have to go hang out separately. It's so much easier when the two of us can do it together.
Yeah.
It's not always the case. It's just, that's the easy option.
Yeah.
So your marriage relationship's so key and vital to your long-term happiness.
Yeah.
Good family relationships are important, but the Bible talks about the depth and the value that comes with friends outside of those two areas.
Yeah.
I can't expect my wife to be everything for me.
Yeah.
And I can draw from different people.
Yeah.
In friendship.
Yeah, so I want to shift a little bit to the other side of friendship, and that's those that have been betrayed and hurt and stuff like that. What would you say to someone who's been betrayed, excluded, and maybe abandoned by a friend? Because as you mentioned in your sermon, this can be quite a heavy topic for some people.
Yeah.
So
Jesus experienced it himself. He had people betray him, deny him, walk away when the going got tough. But it didn't define Jesus. He still was able to love. Now, we may not be Jesus, but I want to say that your betrayal, your wound, your hurt doesn't have to be the end of your story when it comes to friendships and relationships. I don't want it to be the prison you spend the rest of your life in. I think it's finding people that you can unpackage that stuff and talk honestly about the wounds and the hurts you have. If God can reconcile those relationships, they will be stronger for it. But it is putting yourself out there again. If you're going to love, you risk being hurt and being rejected. And that's why this topic can be hard, because for some of you, this is a sensitive topic. It picks at wounds, especially when you've allowed people close and they're the ones that have hurt you. It's always so much more painful. When you keep people at arm's length, they can't hurt you because you haven't let them in.
Yeah.
So, Lord, would you heal our hearts so that we are confident enough again to allow people in.
Yeah.
And for you to take the hand away and say, okay, I'm going to give this a go again. But I trust that you find people who are wise, that is worth the risk. You're not investing in people, fools, because you will end up hurt again and in trouble.
Yeah, and then a little bit on forgiveness. Does forgiving someone mean that trust and friendship must immediately be restored?
No, not at all. Trust is earned. Trust is given. And people have to show that they have changed, or they are willing to change. But if you keep blindly trusting someone that isn't changing and isn't actually repentant and sorry, you will be in the same place. So build the bridge again. Build that relationship again, and when you're ready, then share what's most valuable to you with that person.
What is one practical step someone can take this week to strengthen their friendships?
So I think evaluate the state of your relationships. Do you see a friendship recession happening? If so, reach out to a couple of people and say, can we have a coffee, a phone call, a meal together? And then don't just do the headline stories. How's your wife? How are your kids? How's work? Ask questions like, how is your heart? What is going on that no one gets to see? How can I pray for you? And then if you're willing to say, like, is there anything you want to say to me? Is there anything you want to speak into my life? Like, is there a conversation we need to have that is difficult? And you have got to be intentional. We can't just go with good intentions. You've got to be practical. So practically reach out to someone, make an effort, have those difficult conversations, and then don't wait 6 months for the next one. Like, find ways to stay connected.
And then final question, if there's one takeaway out of this whole conversation, out of your sermon, that you want to leave with those watching, what would that one takeaway be?
Show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. I hope you guys have been encouraged by this conversation. I hope that we can take some of the points and continue to build into our relationships. For those relationships that are on the decline, for those that are plateauing, take that next step, reach out, and begin to reinvest in those relationships. And hopefully when we get older, we will be happier because of the relationships that we have in our lives. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for taking the risk in preaching on a topic that could be quite difficult for many. It can be confusing, can be a wound. But we just hope that, for those that are listening and watching, that healing and restoration can come from this, and that you go again, and that we continue to build strong, godly relationships. Amen. But we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you very much for joining us. Cheers.